Welcome back to court, everyone. Today, we're dropped right into a probation revocation hearing, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The defendant, Ms. Day, is on a 12-month probation stemming from a DUI on February 20th, 2024. With just 1 month and 11 days left, the court says she hasn't provided proof of 40 hours of community service, hasn't completed the Level 1 treatment the evaluator recommended, and owes $1,440 in fees. The judge is already signaling zero patience, especially when the safety of a child and the risk of impaired driving are in play. You'll hear the court question whether Ms. Day relied on bringing her baby to soften the consequences, and you'll see a central legal tension. Did she do enough, early enough, to stay compliant? Watch for 3 big pressure points: 1, verification of those community service hours and whether proof was actually submitted. To the SAM Level I treatment she admits she didn't complete. And 3, the financial arrears that might have been partially converted to service if she'd coordinated sooner with probation. As you listen, ask yourself, is this a case of hardship colliding with court compliance, or a pattern of waiting until the 11th hour? Stay through the end. There's a pivotal turn when clean alcohol tests and a valid license enter the record, and a powerful moment when the judge reframes the entire case around parental stability and long-term planning.
In the courtroom, Mr. Taylor, can you angle the camera so that I can see Ms. Day? Because I'm just seeing the tops of people's heads. Oh, that's perfect. All right. So, Ms. Day, do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Day, you're before the court for a petition for revocation of probation. This is a 2020 CR 02905 case. Kimberly Bianca Day, you were before this court for driving under the influence on the 20th day of February 2024. You were sentenced to 12 months on probation. You have 1 month and 11 days remaining. You failed to complete 40 hours of community service. You failed to provide proof of completing a Level 1 program for treatment, and you are currently 1,000.
Right here, the judge draws a hard line. If you have a child, treatment should be priority 1, not just to satisfy probation, but to be a safer parent. Legally, probation conditions aren't suggestions. They are court-ordered obligations, tied to your liberty. The judge's warning about jail and calling DFACS isn't theater, it's a reminder that known compliance plus child welfare concerns can escalate fast. Notice the judge's point about the evaluator. This isn't a generic class. Requirement 10 assessment concluded Ms. Day needed ongoing support. That matters because courts give added weight to professional evaluations. Engagement question. Do you think bringing the baby to court helps humanize Ms. Day's situation, or does it risk being seen as a tactical move? And from a compliance standpoint, what would you prioritize first if you were in her position? Treatment, fees, or proof submission?
$440 in arrears. All right, Mr. Taylor, tell me why Ms. Day hasn't done the community service and the treatment program, which if you have a child, you should have been running to get to a treatment program so you can be a better mother.
Your Honor, Ms. Day has completed the community service and she's provided proof of completing that community service to Mr. Carmichael.
All 40 hours?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
We do admit that Ms. Day has not completed the
ASMA Level 1 course.
That's not the DUI risk reduction. That's the analysis for the treatment.
No, they did a substance abuse evaluation, and the evaluator said that she needed additional treatment support. And instead of getting the treatment support, she shows up here with her baby like I won't put her in jail and call DFACS to come get her child.
Your Honor, when speaking with Ms. Day, she indicated to me that she was having some financial difficulties.
Defense spotlights a common real-world barrier: money. Ms. Day reportedly struggled to fund SAM Level I treatment, though her father is now willing to help and counsel says she can enroll immediately. This week, if the court allows her to remain out of custody, here's the legal nuance. Courts often won't excuse treatment just because it's expensive, but they do consider good faith efforts early, communication with probation, documented attempts to enroll, partial payments, or seeking fee adjustments, alternatives. The judge later mentions a path Ms. Day missed, working with probation earlier to convert some financial burdens into additional community service. Engagement moment. Should courts build more flexible payment to service pipelines proactively, or is the responsibility squarely on defendants to ask early and often? If you've watched similar cases here, you know timing and documentation can make or break leniency.
With arranging for that ASAM treatment, She does tell me that she can, her father is willing to assist her with the payment for that program, and I told her she would need to get into that program immediately this week if she is given the opportunity to remain outside of custody. The final obligation that she had is a financial obligation that she's been unable to pay, again, due to
Okay, Ms. Day, if you are working in conjunction with your probation officer, which I encourage everybody to do, then some of this money would have been turned into additional community service hours. But since you waited to the last minute to do the ordered community service hours, you wouldn't have had time to convert some of the money into additional community service. And I'm not sure if you were having fun.
This is the emotional core. The judge frames DUI not as a paperwork issue, but a public safety risk. When the court says they've done an assessment and you are a risk, that's an institutional finding, not simply the judge's opinion. The judge also attacks the timing problem. If you knew about financial strain 11 months ago, why is the court hearing about it now? This is textbook probation analysis. Consistency and initiative show rehabilitation. Last-minute scrambling signals. Avoidance. The baby as a badge line stings because it challenges motivar, you demonstrating responsibility or leveraging sympathy. Think about how you'd read this moment. Engagement question. Is the judge's tough stance necessary to protect the public and the child door? Does it risk overshadowing genuine hardship? Drop your take. Firm accountability versus compassionate flexibility. Where's the balance?
Financial problems. You knew you were having financial problems 11 months ago, 10 months ago, while we wait until the last minute to come in and say, I can't do the recommended treatment. So not everybody gets a recommendation for a treatment level. That means you actually need it. They've done an assessment and you are a risk to people. Therefore, they've required you to go to treatment. You can roll your eyes if you want to, but you have a baby. So think about the fact that you put people's lives in jeopardy when you drove drunk the first time. And now they've recommended that you need additional treatment support. But instead of doing that, you come in here sporting your baby like she's some badge that, like I said, will keep me from putting you in jail. Ma'am, I'm a judge today. I'm a mama when I get home.
Your Honor,
So no, Mr. Taylor, I need to hear from her why we slacking on doing what we need to do. Because they have recognized that she got a problem. Ms. Day?
Yes, ma'am. Are you asking, which part are we asking?
I'm asking why you before the court not having done what you know you needed to do.
Just been struggling. I'm sorry.
No, ma'am, no. No. Everybody's struggling. No. Everybody's struggling. So tell me why you couldn't go to counseling over 10 months. Miss, let me just tell you something. You can go tell somebody, look, I'll help you organize your closets. Pay me $50. I'll help you clean out your garage. Pay me $50. You can make money in a myriad number of ways. You have been eating and surviving and moving through life for the last 10 months, but you haven't been prioritizing what I told you to do. If somebody tells you you need therapy, it's because you need therapy.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, the screen went up.
Because if I remember correctly, you were the one who was coming from brunch with your girls and got picked up. Am I mistaken?
Yes, ma'am.
Which situation was this?
I was leaving my job.
You was drinking and leaving your job. Oh, okay. That's even worse.
Well, no, that was working in the restaurant industry. I stay away from that area now, which is the easy job to get, but I don't want to go back to that lifestyle.
I get that, but even saying that sentence tells me you recognize you got a problem, but you waited 11 months and still didn't go to therapy.
Well, I paid for the class, but I didn't know I had 30 days after I spoke to the lady to go to the therapy, and that also cost too, I believe. And by the time I set up my appointment, he read the paper.
Did you ask questions?
No, I didn't know I had.
Miss Day, let me just stop you there. How old is your child?
She's 1.
Is she the only child you got?
No, I have another boy.
So you have 2 children. and you know you're facing jail if I decide to put you back in jail, but you go 11 months without asking questions about what's going to keep you out of jail. Come on now. As a mama, you thought you would come in here and Judge Hayward's going to be nice and I'm going to bring my baby and she won't put me in jail. Instead of you have a probation officer that you could have asked all these questions of over the course of the last 11 months, but you sign up for stuff, but you don't get full information about it. You have a probation officer, but you don't ask questions. Every probation officer in Clayton County knows what I prioritize, but you don't ask questions.
Yes, that's my mistake.
You can't afford to make those mistakes. You got two people who are dependent upon you. You can't afford to make those mistakes. Who doesn't ask questions about something that's vital to their livelihood? See, you playing me because now you think I'm going to go ahead and let you finish that class. And then when you don't finish the class, I won't have enough time to put you in jail. I could put you in jail first. And then neither one of us would have to worry about anything.
I understand.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Because if you understood, you'd have made arrangements for that baby before you brought her up in here.
I tried. Everybody went back to school and work. I drove all the way from Virginia, got here last night. I ain't have nobody else to keep her. Everybody went back.
You did what?
I said I drove from Virginia last night. I didn't have anyone to keep her. Everybody back to college.
Who drove from Virginia?
Me. That's
Here comes the factual pivot. After a brief recess, defense returns with 2 strong points. 1, Ms. Day's license is currently valid. And 2, she produced 3 clean alcohol tests at spaced intervals during probation. Why does this matter? In revocation contexts, objective compliance, data like verified testing can recalibrate credibility. It doesn't erase mistreatment, but it undercuts any narrative of ongoing alcohol misuse. For a judge weighing whether to revoke, modify, or continue probation, clean tests plus a valid license signal, some rule following, and a reduced immediate public safety risk. Legal takeaway: mitigating facts don't cancel violations. They mitigate consequences. For example, steering toward treatment completion instead of custody. Engagement prompt: if you were the judge, would these clean tests tip you away from jail toward a strict completion plan? Why or why not?
where I currently reside.
Mr. Taylor, doesn't a DUI suspend your license?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does she have it back?
I haven't inquired as to whether she has it back. It is possible she may have obtained a special permissions license that would allow her to drive to work, into school, into hospitals.
But Mr. Taylor, talk to her. Let's verify she got a license before I go any further with her.
Yes, Your Honor.
I did my
Let's-
All right, yeah, y'all talk offline before we have to go any further on this. All right, who's next? We want to bring Miss Day back up?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm ready.
Mrs. Day's license and found that it is currently valid
Okay,
status, so she's able to drive on it. I have the
okay,
license number. Furthermore, Your Honor, Ms. Day has been tested over the course of her probation for alcohol. She was tested at least 3 times at spaced intervals. Tested clean all 3 times. She did not violate any of the testing.
All right, Miss Day, come on back up.
So while I understand the importance of the ASAM testing, I think that her pattern, or rather lack of a pattern of drinking being clean at random intervals during her probationary period when she was tested, indicates that she did take the admonition of staying away from alcohol seriously.
All right, Miss Day, let me just explain to you why I'm so tough on you. First of all, it's alcohol.
Watch how the judge reframes the whole case, from DUI mechanics to child outcomes. The court stresses that a child's health and welfare often correlate with the mother's stability. That's not a new sentencing factor. Here it's the context. Guiding the court's expectations: do XYZ because your kids depend on it. The judge's repeated instruction to ask questions is a procedural lifeline. Defendants who don't understand conditions should contact probation immediately. There's also a powerful accountability message: when you're responsible for 2 children, you can't afford avoidable mistakes. Audience check-in: have you ever watched a case where the defendant's silence or confusion about requirements caused bigger problems than the original offense? What proactive steps would you take day 1 of probation to keep from ending up back in court?
And I don't want anybody's life impacted by a drinking driver. Okay, number one. But number two, the studies have shown the health and welfare of a child depends more on the mother. Even in a 2-parent home where you're stable and both parents are you married, you both got good jobs, all of that. The health and welfare of a child depends more on the mother's stability and well-being than anything else. You got me? If you're stable and doing well, your kids are going to be stable and doing well. Even if you don't have all the money in the world, you're going to think your way through problems and you're going to make it happen for your children. So never pass up the opportunity to, if somebody in a black robe tells you you need to do X, Y, and Z, do X, Y, and Z. If you can't manage X, Y, and Z, ask questions. Your whole job is to make sure these little people grow up well. So if you don't ask questions, if you're not aggressive about making sure your situation is good, then they're just at the mercy of whatever happens to you. And I know life can be hard. Trust me, I was raised by a single mom. So I know some of the stuff that you're struggling with. But what I'm saying to you is you got to prioritize those things that are, one, going to keep you with your children, and number two, going to move you forward. Now, let's talk about jobs. Where are you working?
I'm working at a daycare, but
I can't hear you.
I'm working at a daycare, so I could.
Okay. So she gets daycare, so you're working there, and okay, that's a good idea. Are you taking any classes?
No.
Where do you see yourself once she's in school?
Just working.
Okay, Ms. Day,
This segment becomes part sentencing philosophy, part life coaching. The judge urges Ms. Day to build a planned community college, trades, a credential that leads to steady income and control. The court openly endorses hustle second jobs, side work, notarizing documents as examples of doing whatever it takes to move forward. Importantly, this isn't a diversion from the legal issue. It's the court articulating a rehabilitative roadmap. Stable work plus completed treatment equals better outcomes for the parent and the children. The judge even explains her own courtroom style: shock and awe to jolt defendants out of survival mode and into planning mode. Engagement question: do you think judges should deliver this kind of motivational speech, or should they stick strictly to orders and sanctions? And if you were advising Ms. Day right now, what's the first concrete step you'd write on that notepad tonight?
tell you something. I need you to sit down and come up with a plan. Okay? My mama got 2 degrees while I was a kid, like in school. What I want you to do is find the nearest community college to where you are and figure out what programs they have. Even if it's a trade or a technical school, that's even better sometimes because you come out as a business person. Find something that you can do that means that you're going to be in control of your life and making money for your children. You hear me? Because what I hear is somebody who's a little bit defeated. You are kind of down, like you're just doing the minimum to get through. You're just doing what it takes to get from day to day to day. And you surviving. But what I want you to start thinking about is you have to thrive. So you got to have a plan. Every spiritual philosophy that I've ever heard of is that Christianity, Buddhism, everywhere, they all talk about how important it is to have a vision and to manifest things into your life. Plan those things, write those things down, speak those things into existence. So right now you down. I get you. It's been a lot. But what I need you to do when you get back home and you safe in your house and your kids are asleep, you need to sit down at your table get you a hot chocolate or some tea and get you a notepad and start thinking about stuff you like to do, stuff you can make money at doing, stuff that's going to bring you into a career field, a trade, a business, something. And then the next step is to seek out how to find that resource. Okay? There are programs for working mothers. There are programs, nursing programs are looking for people. You got me? If nursing is your thing, if you're not scared of blood and fluids, then they're looking for people. But Miss Day, you can't just exist. You got two little people who depend on you. And you got to get out there and make it happen. And part of that is being aggressive about things and asking questions. You got to go after it. You can't just let it happen to you. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A lot of what I do is shock and awe. Because when I get you in here and I see that you're not acting like you acting like life is beating you down, I got to shock you. I got to get you back up. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What's the recommendation, Mr. Carmichael?
Probation wants to follow the recommendation that Mr. Taylor proposed earlier, and that she gets the ASMA level 1, enroll in that by the end of this week.
Okay.
As far as payments, I wanted to discuss that with you or discuss that with Mr. Taylor about a possible alternative. Whether we can, the program.
I'm not just pressed about payments right now. She's got a lot on her.
Yes.
I'd rather her complete the ASIM level 1s. And if she does that, I'm gonna be okay.
Understood.
But Miss Day,
Yes, ma'am.
recognize, like I said, it's not gonna happen for you. Nobody's gonna show up at your door and hand you a good job and $1 million. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna have to go get it. And I mean, that means in my lifetime, I've worked 2 jobs. I've had a full-time job and then a side hustle running around, notarizing loan documents, going like just driving after in the evenings and stuff, working that extra. You've got to be willing to do that. You know, when I grew up, my mama, she was a police officer. She was she taught at a daycare. That's where she's coming out. That was one of her first jobs. When she got me stable, she was working at a daycare, but she went back to school. So you've got to start a plan and start thinking about what you can do, because you can't just let life happen to you. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we'll go, Miss, you're going to return to probation. You're going to sign up for your level 1 treatment program class by, what's today? Today is Tuesday. By Monday morning, you need to have that completely signed up. Okay. And you need to go ahead and complete that.
Yes, ma'am.
So by January 12th, sign up for your level 1 program and complete that. All right, Miss Day, I want the best for you and them babies, but I can't do that. I can't do the best for you. Only you can.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So on your drive back, you play your good music and you let your mind roam free and just think about all the things that you want to have change in your life and where you see yourself and those babies in a year, because your whole life can change in 12 months. For the good or the bad. I want yours to change for the good.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right. I'm going to send that over, Mr. Carmichael.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And that's all of my cases, may I be excused?
Yes, Mr. Carmichael. Thank you.
Let's wrap it up. The court returns Ms. Day to probation and orders her to enroll in the Level 1 treatment program by Monday morning, with the judge later referencing January 12th as a sign-up marker in this record. The emphasis is crystal clear. Treatment first. Payments deprioritized for now given her load, and follow-through is everything. Legally, this is a modified compliance outcome. The violation concerns remain, but the court is choosing structured rehabilitation over immediate custody, influenced by the clean alcohol tests, valid license, and a belief that accountability, plus a plan, can still work. Key takeaway: early communication with probation, timely documentation, and proactive enrollment can transform a revocation cliff into a chance at completion. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.